Hi everyone. What we're planning on making today is asparagus soup. How we're planning on doing that, I have all the ingredients that I'm planning on using in front of us. I have garbanzo beans, and those are ones that I actually canned. You can definitely use one from the store, just regular garbanzo beans, 16 ounces. And then I have some pork broth here, and you can use turkey broth, pork broth, any kind of broth, beef broth, anything you want to use. And then I have some canned thighs that I have canned in here. So I'll open that up too. And then for the seasoning that I have it all in front of me. The reason why the Vitamix looks dirty is because I just grinded up some asparagus that I dehydrated. I grinded up a bunch of it. And what I have is, that's what's in front of you with some other ingredients. What I have in here is 3 hefty tablespoons of asparagus, and you see it's a fine powder. I grinded it up in the Vitamix. I have a video on that. You can be able to look that up on Vitamix grinding up asparagus. And you can be able to find my video. It'll be J Witten 31 grinding asparagus. Just put asparagus. I'm not sure what I'm going to name the video yet, but just basically Vitamix and grinding asparagus. Alright, and then on top of that I have 1 tablespoon of onions. And when I say onions, I have the chopped onions. If you have the powder, you can use that as well. Or if you use fresh onions, you can be able to just do like maybe 1/4 of a cup, or even half a, or you can use a medium-sized onion inside of it. And then for the garlic, I ended up using 1/2 a teaspoon of garlic, and I used 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Actually, I used 1/2 a teaspoon of salt and 1/4 a teaspoon of pepper. So that's what the seasoning that you see inside of here. So I'm going to go ahead and put inside of the Vitamix. There we go. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my 1 quart of broth. So let me open that up. And I hope you heard that. It was nice and sealed. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour it in. And 1/4 cup of broth basically makes about 3 cups. Actually more than that. It's 4 cups. So, and then after that, the juice from the garbanzo beans, I'm going to go ahead and put that in there as well. Oh, and one other thing that I forgot to mention, I don't want to put the rest of it in. One thing else I forgot to mention that I added is I did put in 3 tablespoons of flour in it. And for the flour I use, you can use all-purpose flour or whatever flour you have, but for me, I try to change things around and do things healthy for my family. So I actually used whole wheat flour, and it's flour that I grinded up. I use white wheat berries, but I use 3 hefty tablespoons of flour is also in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grind this up in the Vitamix, and I'm just going to grind it up, cut it on, turn it to variable speed 10. I guess before I let it get loud, I'm going to go ahead and cut it on, cut it to speed 10, and then I'm going to put it on high, and I'm going to let it run for maybe 20 seconds, because the whole point is I'm not planning on cooking it, because you can definitely cook soups inside the Vitamix, but what I'm planning on doing is just blending it up just to mix it, and then I'm planning on putting it on the pot and heating it up, and that's what I'm going to put in the garbanzo beans, as well as I'm going to put in the thighs. So let me go ahead and do that for you. I'm saying this because you won't be able to hear me when I do it. I didn't do it for long. I'm going to go ahead and put the soup on the stove so it can go ahead and thicken up and the flavors can start infusing together. What I'm going to go ahead and do is open up the chicken that I've canned, and that's a good, shows you it's sealed. It's all the way sucked in, so I'm going to go ahead and open it up. It's from May of 2013. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in. Let me make sure you can see. Smells good. that doesn't sound so pleasing, but it tastes good. Now I took the bones out, and what I'm going to do now is just, I don't need to break it apart because it'll break apart inside of the soup. So I just make sure to get all the bones out, and I took the skin off of the thigh, so there's no skin inside of it. Let me get that. I'm going to throw that part away. I don't want that. Some fat. So, but this right here, I'm going to go ahead. It doesn't look the prettiest, but when I put it in, it's going to break apart on its own. It smells good. And so I'm going to go ahead, and I have this. I'll put it, go ahead and put it in. Okay. I'm going to go ahead, and my stove isn't on. I'm going to go ahead and pour in the soup. I got it all in there. And now I'm going to go ahead and pour in my beans. These are the garbanzo beans. I got those in. And now I'm going to go ahead and pour in my chicken. Alright. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it on medium high. My stove goes up to 9 and then to high. So I went ahead and I put it on 7. And I'm going to watch it. I'm going to stir it, and it's going to thicken up. And if it's a little too thick for you, you can always, then for your next time you make it, you can be able to do just 2 hefty tablespoons of flour, or that you've already done it, you can go ahead and just get a little bit of water, and you can go ahead and put it in. Okay, after you put it in, give it a good stir. And then you're going to go ahead and let it heat up. Now everything is always optional. My husband likes his soy sauce, so I'm putting it in. You definitely don't have to add it in. My husband likes it, so I'm going ahead and I'm putting it in. Okay, and I'm going to give it another stir. And it's been, since I had cut the camera off, it's been around 2 minutes. It's not boiling or anything like that. So we'll be back. Alright, it's been around 7 minutes, and if you can see, it's boiling just a little bit. It's kind of simmering. I still have it on medium high, and it's simmering. What you want to do then, so the flavors can really mix together, I just wanted you to be able to see it boiling a little bit. I'm going to let it cook for around 5 minutes, and while it was getting to where it was boiling a little bit, I've been stirring it on and off. You can see how the meat's breaking up. Oops, sorry about that. It's steaming up my camera. Okay, so it's bubbling. So I'm going to let it go for around 5 minutes. And then after that, then I'm going to go ahead and add the ½ a cup of Parmesan cheese and the 1 cup of milk. You can use cream as well, but I don't have any cream. And I really don't want to use cream. It has more fat in it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and just use 2% milk, or you can even use vitamin D. Alright, the timer just went off. I cut it off. And now what I'm going to go ahead and do is add my milk. And there's 1 cup of milk. And then I have ½ a cup of Parmesan cheese. I'm going to mix it up. And then what I'm going to let it do is I'm going to let it cook for around 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to try it and see if I need to add and see how it tastes. Here's the finished soup. After I got done, I went back to it after the 2 minutes. I went ahead and tasted it, and for me it tasted a little bland because for the stock that I made, I didn't put no salt in my stock. So I went ahead and I upped it, and in total I put another ½ a teaspoon of salt in. So in total I put 1 teaspoon of salt in it. But just taste it after you get done with it, and you can be able to make that call in if you want it to be either saltier or if it's fine. But this is basically what it looks like. And the white part you see around it is I put a little bit of Parmesan cheese around it, and the white part there is some sour cream. And then I'm going to go ahead and dig in so you can see a little bit of it. Here's the beans, and you can see some of it looks like the cheese, but the bits and pieces that you see, the strands that you see, that's actually the meat. Like there you see some of the meat right there. Here's some of the meat right there. And what I've noticed from the canned meat, if you don't like the canned taste, then I don't recommend you just heat it up and then just eat it. For me and my family, we've noticed that we kind of like it better, the canned meat, more in like the soups and like the casseroles, when it's had time to fuse with the food that it's cooking with. And then it tastes absolutely delicious. You can't tell that it's canned. It's delicious. So anyway, here's the soup. I went ahead and mixed it up. It tastes great and it's good. And remember, the world is your oyster. You can do whatever you want with it. You could be able to have a piece of bread by here that you can be able to eat with the soup. You can either toast some of the bread in the toaster, and you can kind of make them kind of like croutons. You can be able to you can be able to put basically anything you kind of want to put in it to make the soup how you want it. But this is just my variation of how I'm making it for today. Tomorrow I'll probably make it another way, and the day after that another way too. But on behalf of your friends, family, and loved ones, I do want to be able to tell you thank you so much on behalf of them for taking the time out of your busy schedule, because life is so busy, but you actually go above and beyond and make food from scratch. You are concerned about what your family is eating, and on behalf of them, we want to say thank you so much for caring about us, for what goes in our mouths. Thank you so much. Thanks, and take care, and God bless.